What's going on this morning, guys? So today the plan is to head into Narco's trap as soon as sun goes down. We're looking to get some new technology research materials while we're building up money through our copper mines that we've set up. We're going to hopefully be getting Beep fully geared out so he can start his training. The number one thing I want to do is get him strength training. We're waiting on more iron from Ruka. She's slowly building that up, and we're going to fill some of these traveler wooden backpacks with that iron and then set Beep to mining. If we do it correctly, this will have him mining one piece of copper and then immediately returning to put that away. This just kind of automates him walking back and forth heavily encumbered and will give us a lot of good training. Right now, Griffin's just going to wait till sundown. Going into Narco's trap with the sun up is just asking for trouble. We're not going to be doing that. Let's check on Birmingham and Khaled. Make sure their copper's selling. We keep stacking up to where the local shops can barely afford to buy it all. We don't want to get stuck with it. The overall goal that we're shooting for is just to get enough equipment that we can create a small army of Shek noobs that have a really high toughness growth and will become really hardened warriors really quick. And we're just going to give them high quality heavy armor and crossbows. And especially if you watch other people play or you generally look at the stats, it seems counterintuitive, but your crossbow accuracy when you have a large group of crossbowmen is virtually not necessary. They're going to hit their target. Just the sheer volume of fire is going to take care of that for you. So it actually makes sense to put them in heavy armor, let them shoot each other over and over in a nice little tight ball, and it will level their friendly fire stat, which is your precision shooting. Let me not throw casual off a cliff here. Your precision shooting is what stops you from accidentally shooting your allies. So the easiest way to level that up without... We're trying to avoid just straight stack grinding that we actually have to do and be involved in. So we'll let, Beep go carry a bunch of copper and iron around to level his stats on his own, but we don't want to do that. We don't want to spend our time bored. We're trying to have fun with Kenshi. So I'm going to get Beep piled up with some heavy stuff and let him wander around on his own. And then when we build up, we're going to go higher. There's a ton of Sheks between Squind and Admag. We're just going to hire a bunch of Sheks, give them heavy armor, crossbows, and either wakasashis or katanas, and send them out to just clean up dust bandits, and they'll use that to loot, get all of the armor off the dust bandits. You can usually sell that for a decent amount, enough to at least get enough food to keep them going, keep them raiding, let them hop into beds. This is how you can kind of just train up your army without having to drive yourself crazy stack grinding. The heavy armor will protect them from when they're shooting each other with their crossbows, as well as keep them from just dying every time they get into a fight. Alright, we're getting close to sundown. It's time to head over to Narco's trap, make sure we're ready to raid that. We should be able to hang out close by without alerting the authorities, and we'll just wait for the sun to finish going down. While we're doing that, we'll check on our copper here. Looks like they're still open. We can sell off the copper we have here. See, we're starting to stack it up here too. Their laboring stats are getting higher, and we're spending more time doing other things. So they're starting to get ahead of us on the copper grind to where the shops don't even have enough money to buy all of our copper if we're not careful. Okay, looks like the sun's about down. We want to get back to Griffin and get in there. Yep. So Narco's Trap is just a place where the Holy Nation hides all of the electronics, all of the research materials that they know exist and just want to pretend don't. So we just want to sneak up here. We have to keep an eye on this little eyeball here. If that goes away, that means somebody's detected us. And there's guards all around on the outside, but once you're inside, all we have to deal with is robo spiders. We've got nearly a perfect stealth stat, and we're virtually immune to the effects of the acid rain as long as we don't go climbing into a vat of it. Let's see what else we got here. Science books, good. Should have brought some tools with us, but it's good that there were some here already. Let's see what all of these are worth. This is junk. It's just heavy and not worth a lot of money to steal. Alright, upstairs is where it gets dangerous. This is where we're going to find our loot, but it's also where we're going to find a bunch of these dang spiders. CPU units worth good money. And the paladins will not help us with these robots. They're going to be mad that we're here. So we've got to be very careful, try not to get detected. And if we get detected, we've got to bail. And then just try again. We're scooping up a lot of ancient science books, which is good. We're looking for AI cores. I believe we're going to be able to make it out of here with an AI core or two. That's the most ideal. I don't like that robot randomly came up here. It makes it to where they can hear us picking locks and using our tools. So far they don't seem to be able to detect us though. Our stealth stat is super high. Even without ninja rags, we're still getting a little bit of bonus here, and we're immune to the acid, so we didn't get... There it is. We didn't get our skin melted off and reduce our stats. Got an AI core. That's one of the hardest to get a hold of technology pieces. Oh, why is he coming over here? I just saw that guy moving and freaked out. Because this is dangerous. If he gets caught, he's screwed. We don't have anyone else that can come bail him out yet until we get Beep trained up. It's the end of the world. Skeletons have come for us. Oh, there are skeletons raiding. It's a tech hunter. I wonder if this is some kind of scripted event or if he just happened to wander into the wrong neighborhood. I want to go watch that fight, but I don't want these spiders eating me while I'm watching. Science book, more tools. So this is where we need those tools. We got lucky there were some here already. And you do have to take them out of your backpack. That's something that always catches me. I've got tools in my inventory and it just won't let me use them, it's because they're in your backpack. What is he doing? Yeah, I think they beat that skeleton down like immediately. I don't think he had any luck. Yeah, that's a fragment axe that they took off of him. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Sir. Get back upstairs. I'm not that concerned about him. Gee. Now, it's already taken us most of the night just going through, lockpicking all of these and raiding the place, so we may have to hold out to leave. We'll have to see. Now both of the dang robots are up here. What is this? They can smell the human on us or something. So we don't want to completely break our tools, so we cut this down until it's somewhere close to 50, and then we'll be able to just use strength on it. 3 AI cores. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 21 ancient science books. That is a haul. And there's still more stuff for us to take. So we could even come back here for a lot of extra money here soon. We're only slightly encumbered. It's time to get out of here. We're going to go straight to the hub. We cannot hit stack with a backpack full of technology. We're moving so fast and so stealthy they didn't even notice we were there. That's what we want. That's why we had this guy trained up like this. He's able to go and just snatch ancient science technology, which has given me an idea while we're getting Beep trained up, since that's going to take a while doing it automatically. I really want him to have his strength trained up so that he can actually carry heavy quantities of stuff. So we're going to send Griffin on a little expedition, especially if we can find the acid rain hat, but we don't seem to need it. 80% seems to be enough to stop regular acid rain. We're going to go get a new piece of equipment that we need to make Beep all that he can be. If you guys are familiar, you'll know what I mean. If not, it'll be a good surprise. I have a bad history with Beep. Not in the sense of not liking him or he did something wrong, but I had Beep, we'll say, ready for his apotheosis. If you don't know, you'll figure out. And he was laying in bed, healing up, resting, and I just forgot he was in bed. And if you put him in bed like that, he won't get up to eat. He won't even eat if the food barrel's next to him. So he just starved. I just look up, 2-3 hours into a playthrough, auto saves have done rolled. I've already saved. I'm getting ready to go do something, so I've saved the game just to make sure if it, random crash happens, I don't lose all my progress. And my sister is watching me play. It says, "Where's Beep?" Beep. Couldn't find him anywhere on my bar here, because when someone dies, they get removed from your bar down here. And I went and found his little body in a bed dead. So we got to be extra careful with Beep. I love all the random lines he uses. I think he's a crazy, goofy character to have around. I don't want it to go south again this time. So all the stuff we robbed, this is incredibly valuable for just walking in, opening some safes, and running back. That's why these high stealth, high thief ability characters are extremely useful, especially in the early game. Normally, you would have to go in there, fight your way in, somebody probably lose a limb to those robots, and then try to get out, all without the Holy Nation noticing you. Or you could just sneak in. You know, it's risky because if he gets caught and hit, he is dead. But if we had, you know, done it right and trained up two stealthy characters from the start, it wouldn't be so risky. Alright, ancient science books are going to get us well into the higher tech levels. We got some engineering research too. This lets you research some of the more unique stuff that can be found. Any kind of specialized turrets, farming strategies, a lot of them require those. Okay, this guy has a lot of money. We can sell him stuff. He ain't got that much money. So this is the other great thing is we're going to sell these and make a lot of money off of this as well, not just advance our science bench. High grade heavy armor. We will take that. Any other cloth pants? We don't want that. Any high grade helmets? Nope. I'm gonna have to find a place to get more high grade helmets. I got that one from the end of the world, or World's End, whatever you want to call it. And that was it. Speaking of, how's Logan doing? What do we got to buy today? So raiding Narco's trap took like no time at all, which was great. We're already out of there and moved on. That's okay, but not what we're looking for. I think I'm going to be done buying crossbows way before I'm done buying armor. Toothpick. There we go. I'm going to go have Griffin, buy some backpacks, and see if there's anything else we need. Beep's at least wearing some of his heavy armor. Yeah, I'm not crazy. Logan bought this somewhere, and this is what we want. But I don't want to sit AFK at the Armor King. There's nowhere to stockpile that armor. There's nowhere to keep food. So I don't want to sit up by the Armor King, which is one of the best places to get armor. Because his selection's even more limited. It's about to be nighttime again. Let's just go back to Narco's trap and get some more free money. This is quite the trek over there. I don't even know if we'll make it before daytime hits, but they probably won't even notice us anyway. We're really only concerned about the spider bots seeing us more than anything. Once we get this place cleared out, we might even just send Griffin to that expedition I was talking about and get moving on that. It's taken time for the iron for beef to pile up. Griffin getting a little discombobulated even with the mods we have installed. So sometimes the pathing here, I'll have to do a video on this. There's a very specific pathing they're usually going to take, and then they can kind of alternatively find their way around after that if that doesn't work. But sometimes they get really confused about where they're supposed to go and how to get there. So far so good, we haven't gotten noticed. Can't believe we're still not encumbered. We got so much loot on us. I guess these aren't very heavy except for this. The best place I could sell this stuff, probably just back to Squin again or the hub. So I know he's yelling, ah, like he's getting hurt, but you'll actually see my health will move for just a second and then go back to 100. Just having the dust coat to prevent the acid and burning seems to be doing plenty for him. But these runs are a great way to make some money, whereas the runs we were doing between the swamp and the lagoons with the hashish is profitable, but that's all you get is more money. This way we do have a chance of getting all of those scientific items that I need to put this guy to work on. So we can do tech level 5 now. We're going to need all of these just to keep going. And once we get tech level 5, then we'll go straight to tech level 6 and be able to research just about anything then once we get the right items. So here we've got to hope we don't get noticed. We're loaded up with scientific and robotic equipment. But they're too busy fighting raptors to deal with us. We'll hit the rebel base, the hub, and Squin. Honestly, the robotic shop at the Hive Village would be a great place to sell stuff too. We need to get some food soon, though. We don't want to dip under 200. We'll start taking stat penalties. That's always ugly. But this is why the equipment's so essential. Our actual stat for stealth is only at 68, but it's treated like it's almost capped just because of this equipment. Having the right stealth gear for your scouts that are going to be wandering around is really important. It makes a much bigger difference than you would think. And then getting them acid immunity or close to acid immune is the next thing that's really important. Just grab some food and head over. I don't want to risk the Hive Village. We're going to end up running into that nest of beak things and get eaten. We don't want to sell to the Shinobi Thieves because they actually only give you half what it's worth. So if it's not a stolen item, there's no reason to risk, like, to take the loss selling it to them. starting to wonder if we're even going to be able to sell all of our copper once it's all said and done, once we really get going. We're already running out of people we can sell to. Okay, that wasn't too bad. And we're staying stocked up on food, which is nice. We don't want them going hungry randomly on us. That'll just put a real kink in the works. High grade pants, that's fantastic. Alright, now we've managed to sell off everything we picked up. We're getting close to 200,000 cats. We're making a really tidy profit while we're getting this science going. Still working on tech level 5. We'll check in on Logan, buy some more gear. Hopefully buy some more gear. Okay. We could look at buying weapons soon too, once we're sure we have enough armor and crossbows. I think we've probably got enough crossbows. We wanted something like 10 or 15 of them. Yeah, we're close to 15. We'll buy if we see another specialist, we'll buy it, but we'll probably hold off on buying any more. We still haven't been able to purchase very much armor. So the next thing we can send Griffin off to is to either look for a better place to buy armor, or we can send him off for a little adventure. The adventure is pretty high risk. Not sure I want to risk doing that till I have 2 people, but it'll be a lot of fun. Let's head to Katoon and some of the other areas to see if there's a better spot to buy armor. I wouldn't be surprised if Katoon's where I can buy armor as well. But I think they're just weaponsmiths. We'll have to see. It really is worlds different. The mods I usually play with are the shopping con mods. They're just the ones that add way more options to things you can buy. They're still expensive. You still have to have a good plan for how you're going to make all this money. But it gives you a lot more availability of the better items without having to craft everything yourself. It looks like it's going to take us through the swamps anyway. I brought a pretty full backpack. We're not going to make another run right now. We've got plenty of money. Money's not even an issue anymore. We're so far ahead that the copper slowly coming in is going to cover everything for a long time until we try to buy more science stuff. Honestly, that's what we could do. Go ahead and get Sad Neil doing some purchases. And there it goes. There's all our money gone. But we'll build it back up pretty quick. We'll have Griffin do some under the table work if we have to. But that'll give us most of the science we need to get a base built, and the armor takes so long to come back and be ready for purchase. Might have overdone it, but that's okay. It's so dreary in the swamps. I'm just glad beak things don't hang out here. I'd never see them coming. There'd just be this long neck pop out of nowhere and slam you in the face and kill you. The blood spiders aren't much better, but we'll deal with them later. So these are the raptors that live out here. They're actually not really a problem unless you attack them first. But if you tried to camp out here between the blood spiders and those things trying to steal all your food, it's pretty rough. Not the best place to set up. Alright. Research Tech 6. Not going to worry about robotics. Crossbow turret strings. Corpse disposal. We're going to want harpoon turrets eventually. We're going to need a ton of engineering research. We'll want all the battery power we can get. So we need more regular books too. Okay. So even with 170 some odd thousand cats, we're still down to almost nothing, just trying to buy up our basic science needs. Which we'll run up there with Griffin and grab that right quick. Then the only thing we'll use Sad Neil for up there is to make any other purchases if we want a really good crossbow. Like maybe we want an Eagle's Cross on some of our guys once they're really well trained. Or if we decide to go completely into heavier crossbows. Once everybody's trained not to shoot each other in the back of the head, those could be really fun to use too. We might look at getting Griffin some new legs just so that he can move a little faster. He's definitely going. So the area around Katoon, like the area we just ran through, the high bone fields, is very dangerous. There's elder beak things, which are like bigger, badder versions, like beak things evolved. And they're just even more ridiculously fast, even more dangerous. Something you want to mess with even less. So we've got a thieves group here, that's cool. What do you guys have? Anything good? No, same typical stuff. We can buy heavy chainmail. This is one of the better chainmails you can get. We might start buying those once we run out of things we need to buy. Yeah, so most of what they have are weapons, and the ninjas actually tend to have better katanas. I mean, these only really go up to Katoon, so nothing special. That's kind of a bummer. I was kind of hoping they would have a good armor shop. the best place to buy heavy armor is. I usually just make it myself, but it's so tedious without mods that I've kind of gotten away from that. I could buy crab armor if I really wanted to go crazy. We'll send Griffin to grab our science books and go from there. So we're already back up to having plenty of money to make armor and weapon purchases, so we're not that worried about the money we spent on the science stuff. He's still moving, that's good. Alright, we've got all the battery stuff, so we're not going to worry too much about the rest. We are going to want hydroponics for sure. And hydroponic vegetables. So that's going to let us set up base anywhere we want. We will not care. All we need is water, or for it to be raining fairly constantly. You can even set up, oddly enough, in the acid rain, no mods, and it'll still work. Let's see how Rain and Kang handle this. Kang's already knocked one down. It's interesting seeing them try to take on a crowd this big. They don't have the kind of big, heavy weapons that would give them an advantage, really. But this will let them make a bunch of quick attacks and level their stats faster. Double a little bit as combat training as well as doing some mining work. Kang getting up immediately. He's not ready to just sit down. His toughness is up in the 30s because he just won't stay down. Let's get this wrapped up so we can get them back to work. Oh my days. It didn't even tell me I was in a fight. What is going on here? Oh no. I don't think Griffin's gonna live through this. Are you kidding me? That's what I get for getting greedy. At least he doesn't have all the science stuff on him yet. Looks like maybe they're gonna lose. Oh, they lost interest. Thank goodness. Oh, I was gonna feel so dumb. Oh man. Luckily, they attacked my legs first without knocking me out. So we're probably not going to have Griffin running through the high bone fields and Shem anymore without me paying attention. That was almost everything going wrong possible. We're going to go get him healed up. No. Again. Again. No. I don't even think we have the movement speed to get away from this guy. Well, let's see what happens. It is what it is. Nope. Come on. Okay, run. We're gonna sneak just on the off chance it helps. So when you start to get eaten, that tends to wake you up if you're not knocked out real bad. Holy crap, we got lucky. Just pure stupidity on display, but that's okay. That's gonna be half the fun. Is I'm not gonna reload, so if he would have died, I'd have just had to deal with it. It makes for a really interesting story when there are real stakes and you can't just reload. If you're just playing for fun, you want to reload, do that. I'm not saying you can't or it makes you bad or anything like that. I don't care. You should play however you want. I like having to deal with the crazy-ass consequences that happen in this game. It would have been a whole process to get someone new up and ready to do his job. Because he was extremely good at it, didn't have to have the full ninja gear, and could just keep going. Well, while he's resting, we'll hit up these two and get some selling done. And see if we can buy some backpacks. We could start stockpiling iron plates to do our own crafting. That is something we could do. And we could start stockpiling building materials. We're not close to starting a base, unless we really wanted to get crazy. Starting a base is like the most risky thing you can do, but maybe that's what we want to do this time. We've still got other stuff we need to buy, though, so I think we'll hold off. I've still got armor and crossbows I need to buy. Oh, darn it. Go ahead and buy some food here. It in time, but we'll try to get into the travel shop. Just don't want them to shut the door and then us start slamming on it and get in trouble. One backpack. Okay, we'll take that. I know I'm wiggling around a little crazy here. I'm trying to figure out if this shop was still open. Still no good backpacks. That is not cool, dude. Alright, we'll check on Logan. We're coming in a little late to try and check for stuff we can buy, but we might catch it in just the nick of time. No good heavy armor today. Again, that's rough. Let's see if they got our last single crossbow. That's good enough. I'm gonna buy some ammo. We do have tech level 6 unlocked. Excellent. I still can't believe I almost lost Griffin to something so dumb and obvious. sitting here on a ton of the side stuff we need. Does this guy do any restock? I bet he doesn't. Bet he doesn't. But he's not gonna do it while I'm sitting here in his shop. So Sad Neil, if you could avoid dying randomly, that would be great. Oh, we also could have him, yeah, check out the robotics shop. So the scout leg gives a minor penalty to stealth, but you move faster. This is what we can equip our guys with if they were to lose a limb. So the stealth legs, though, give athletics bonus and stealth bonus. We're probably not going to need the stealth bonus, though. We'll probably be able to tolerate the stealth penalty. And then industrial lifter arms are the good one. Thieves arms are really cool. I don't think you can get both sides of steady arm, or it would be pretty cool to get everybody steady arms. So steady arm left. If we see a steady arm right, that would be sick. No such luck, but we'll be able to take a look at that and see what we're able to buy. Wait on Griffin to get fully healed before we take off anywhere. Ooh, we're short a few iron plates. That's inconvenient. Nobody randomly has those on them, do they? Okay. Should be healed enough as long as I don't do anything dumb like not pay any attention at all again. Should be fine. And it's getting dark out, so that'll help. But man, beak things. They ran up on me and beat me down to the ground before I even got the flashing red that he was in combat. That triple speed, especially not watching them, is probably not worth it if you're not going to be reloading. Ruka's not gonna die. I'm not switching to Ruka to let Griffin run unobserved. She'll be okay. Have him trade with Sad Neil. Take all the sciencey stuff. Now we can check on Ruka, make sure she's okay. It's a stinking wolf, really? And it's her legs that hurt. And she's got no medkit. Okay, we're gonna go this way. No, oh boy. Okay. We need to get Ruka with a medical kit. That's kind of crazy. We gotta get her over there to grab our splint rigging and get going. I don't like having to follow Griffin on his crazy long runs, but after that mishap, I think we're going to have to be more careful. Okay, she's not going to get any better. Turn her jobs off, go have her lay in bed for a while till we get Griffin back here. Come on now. Don't just stand here in the acid. Sometimes you have to pick a route you know they can actually follow. Clicking down here instead of up here. Why? Why would you swim through the acid? Oh, Kenshi. Once we get to the hub and then down to Squin, we'll drop off the science gear, and we are going to... after him almost dying, I'm even less willing to risk Griffin, but I think we are going to send him off. He's not in big thing territory anymore, so he shouldn't randomly die on us this time. Only standard grade leg plates. That's a bummer. Guys, I need more armor. That's what I'm here for. The crossbows and the ammo are nice, but we still need armor. So the reason we like to get ahead of the science stuff, though, and we even spent a lot of our money on it, is because when you go to build your own base, you need all this stuff researched. We need to put up walls first. Like, walls and the ability to make food have to go up first, because you have to keep people out of your base. You need to get them to attack the doors first so that you can kill them while they're doing that. You do not want to spend the whole time having people running through your town, trashing things, killing your people, stealing your stuff, kidnapping your people, and enslaving them while you're just trying to get started. One of my favorite places to base up is right here. This is basically a nice wide open place with copper, iron, everything you need to form a base. It's not in the middle of a road, but it's near one, so we'll get a lot of the traders and things like that having a good route to us. But it is technically Holy Nation territory, so you run into, or at least what they consider Holy Nation territory, so you will get prayer day. Another nice place is out here. There's a spot right by Squin that's not too bad. But the Shek will come and take a bunch of your food. And food is one of the hardest things to keep going for a large group of people. So that can get pretty annoying pretty quick. Ruka still needs to heal. Goodness. We're going to get Ruka to get back to work. As bad as that sounds. I forgot to buy the iron plates before it got dark. Scuffed. I think we're going to have Beep help Ruka. Oh, I did send her out the wrong gate. Well, that was silly. No? What are you... Oh, she was hungry. Okay. Fair enough. Gotta eat. We're gonna have Beep help her. Why not? Maybe he'll get his butt kicked here and there and get some toughness. We've stacked up a pretty decent amount of bolts. I'm perfectly okay though with having an alarming amount of extra bolts. Not much in the armor department though. This isn't great. But it beats the heck out of having to constantly sell bandanas while we're leveling armor and constantly selling bolts just to make up the crazy amount of money you spend. I do think it's time to start stockpiling building materials though, because that's going to take a long time as well. I don't necessarily want to buy another house for it yet. It's a big expenditure all at once when we're not ready for it. Still doing great on food. How's Logan doing on food? Okay, he's still got a long time for just an individual guy. We want to make sure nobody ends up going hungry and starving to death randomly. That's just not what we're about. My sister never let me live that down again. Be hammering away. See, when you turn the nests up, the world is just not peaceful. There's so many bandits, wolves, things wandering around attacking people. Makes it way more interesting. Does that Garu have good stuff on him? No. See, the only other problem is that the caravans, it'd be cool to play as a bandit, but the caravans are always broke with nothing on them. Or if they do have stuff, it's like food and cheap building materials. It's nothing crazy. You need like tech hunter caravans that you can rob blind for a bunch of expensive stuff. We're on research bench 6. That's pretty sick. Got our hydroponic food. I don't really need hydroponic hemp. We're not going to be making our own clothing or anything like that. We might want the heavy building foundations. Oh, we have to just to do that. I'm not worried about any of this. I don't think we'll be doing generators. We'll probably settle somewhere with wind, just to keep it simple. Could use these ore drills. Automated mining tech's gonna be good. And just like that, we're running out of science stuff already. So a lot of places where you use this stuff up too is if we were to do armor crafting and crossbow crafting. So where's crossbow crafting? So that requires learning crossbow bolts and engineering research. And then the plate armor crafting takes engineering research. The AI cores typically go to the advanced weapon creation. And without mods, you can't even make stuff that's as good as what you can buy in some places. So it almost seems like it's not worth it with all the effort you put into it. you're better off just setting up people to purchase what you need over time as it refills in the shops. Oh, he had the backpack I need too. There we go. We don't necessarily need a backpack for him as much as I would like it. We need to get beat carrying around a bunch of iron. Okay, so the harpoon turrets are coming around as something we can do. So double barrel, we need more ancient science books. Okay. And that's cool, we can do that. Griffin can definitely go find us some of that. Turn off his job so he doesn't ditch all of his food. Still don't have enough to have beef come back. No, leave them alone. They are not tough. Stop it. No, they're after Ruka and Beep. Why do they want Beep? He really wants them twig legs. Stupid wolf, stop it. Go away. Ruka, you have a full inventory. What are you doing? Oh, she had to patch him up ever so slightly. Okay then. So since I fell behind on selling my copper, we're just stocking up on a ton of extra food while we're at it. We still came up positive. And now they won't need food for pretty much forever. There's just wolves roaming free in the city. We really might have to give up on mining here soon. That's crazy. Ooh, this is one of our only shops left. Let's not lure them into there. He doesn't even have a med kit. I'll be darned. Gonna have to have that. Well, I'll have to look into that in a little bit. I'm just doing a bunch of research. So we don't have power. We could put in the money and time to build some power infrastructure here, but it's not really worth it. We're going to be moving out eventually. While we're doing that, let's send Griffin. I don't want to risk him in one of these workshops where he's going to get murdered. We grabbed almost everything out of Oakland's shield. Oh, let's send him to get the specific item we need and hope for the best. We'll run with him for the most part. Make sure he doesn't die. We have to keep keep an eye on bombing. Oh, his leg will be protected by injuries. Okay. As soon as the town opens up, we'll want to go purchase some med kits for him. We don't need him falling out on us. So we've actually reached a great point with Griffin where his stealth is at 100, even with not wearing the ninja rags, and that's making a big difference. He's capped out on stealth. He's running max speed. He's actually going to run faster now. So if we watch, you can see his movement speed. It says his max speed's 29. If we take off the stealth, when we look at athletics, his max speed's only 24. You're going to actually move faster by being in stealth. So on top of everything else, he's just flying across the map. If we're able to get him some cybernetic limbs somehow, if he happens to lose his legs, and we get him some industrial strength arms, he'll be able to practically teleport across the map, as well as carry very heavy loads, transport any number of goods, and that's kind of what we want to do with Beep as well. We want to get Beep up to that point. But we're also probably going to make Beep an awesome warrior. We'll make him the general of our army. Give him a big weapon to swing around while everyone else is using crossbows. I think that'd be pretty sweet. Don't want to tangle with that beak thing. We don't want any of that. Check in with Logan, but we're going to do it with pause. We're going to be careful. We're going to unpause just long enough to go check the inventory here and then get out. I don't want standard grade, but it's looking like we're not going to be able to be that picky about armor. It really is. Maybe the answer's been in front of me this whole time. Maybe I'm going to have to get a second robot recruit and stick him up at the Armor King. That might be the solution here. I really don't want to start off with crappy armor if I can help it. But I also don't want this to take much longer. This stage needs to be wrapped up pretty soon. We need to start blooding our new recruits, getting them toughened up, kill a couple bandits, get a few of the easy bounties under our belt. And then we need to get them into some tough fights so that when we actually get raided, they're able to defend their home. Stack is actually slowly becoming just not safe, which is just wild. Well, we might have to keep a weapon on him, actually. Alright, let's get back to Griffin. Bombingham will take care of himself. Since we're here, let's see what they've got. Armor. No high grade of the heavy stuff. Bummer, dude. Let's see if they got a backpack. They don't, but they did refresh their science stuff, which is great. Holy cow, we're broke. Holy cow, we're broke. That's okay, though. We'll be able to fix that pretty quickly. Here's where I can get actual specialists to fix, too. That's something to think about. Make sure we stay up to date on selling our copper here. What I want to do with Griffin now, we're going to grab something called the peeler machine. This is a blueprint that's going to allow us to semi-surgically remove the limbs from our people. It does remove all four at once, though. It's really difficult to. It takes a lot of setup to remove just the legs or just the arms. You basically have to put them in equipment, and you can remove just the legs pretty easily. Removing just the arms is a lot harder. Removing just the arms basically takes pressing your luck in combat without chest armor on, and getting the arms knocked down much lower than the legs before you go to do the limb removal. The hive out here, these are southern hive. They are not friendly. We don't want to go anywhere near those guys. They're going to try and sacrifice us and eat us. They are crazy hivers. One of the things we're doing right here that's risky, hopefully we stay hidden enough. This is called Sniper Valley for a reason. There are robots out here that are really good at shooting a crossbow, and they're out here with Eagle's crosses, which are the longest range crossbow. ready to just light people up. So we didn't plan on coming here, but we did happen to find one of these. This can often lead us to other treasures, so we may as well check this out. Looks like there isn't anybody defending this, so this is probably just a library. We might find a little bit of loot here, but mostly what we'll find is just maps to other places to get loot. Or we'll find an extremely expensive sword and a ton of loot. I stand corrected. I'm alright with that. I can be wrong again. You guys want me to be wrong again? I want to be wrong again. Let's do that. Ancient Nutra rations. That's interesting. Bunch of really good high quality food. I'm gonna pick up regular science books. We're already getting close to encumbered. Really? Piece of copper, that's it? That's rough. We'll want to keep an eye on what everybody else is doing, but we're going to mostly be paying attention to Griffin, trying to get some more loot, more science, more easy, quick money. The copper makes sure we're making more than enough to feed everybody and a little more on top to buy armor, but these expedition trips out here are more exciting and they're a great way to make money faster. Okay, so there's a lot of stuff out here. Masterwork long coat. So we've got some high value stuff, but not a lot of science. Well, that's not true. We did get some ancient science books. Whoa. I just saw these. Those are alive. They were behind the boxes. I didn't notice them the whole time. Those might be active. That's terrifying. Almost became spider bait. 10,000 cat leg. We're at this point very well encumbered though. We may have to leave some of this behind. I don't feel like losing Griffin for a little bit of money. His services have thus far been invaluable. So the leg is what really pushed me over. We're not going to sell the food kits, so we can leave those here. While they're nice, they're not what we're after right now. And they'll still be here. We can remember that this supply outpost has it. Let's go ahead and unencumber ourselves. We'll leave all this loot here in this general storage box, except for the science. We want to hold on to that. But we'll leave the expensive stuff here, and we'll come back for it. We're almost to our target. We want to go to our target unencumbered and ready to get business done. Okay, so over here is where we can get our peeler machine. We just gotta keep a low profile and not get spotted. All those robots coming out of there are not going to be friendly. Neither is that dude, so what we want to do is hide out back here. And we're just waiting for him to go to bed. So as you can see, like, having a really high stealth is a little overpowered. You got some Skyrim level of sneaking going around, but I like to think of it as you got to use the tools the game gives you. It's definitely not a bug that they can't see us, but if I was to go and try and, you know, sneak attack him, it just wouldn't work. He'd club me with that giant sword and I would die. So there's a little bit of a balance to it. We're just trying to open his safe, see what he's got in here. We'll check the other stuff once we've gotten a hold of him. Oh boy. So he noticed us stealing. I didn't expect that. We have got to try and get out of here. Holy, that was close. Look at this. This is ridiculous. We're in such a dangerous place right now. There's so many robots. So these are the freaky robots. These are the sniper bots I was talking about. They've got crossbows slung across their backs, and they are good at shooting. They're wearing heavy armor. Any one of these spider robots could take us out. This could probably take out our in-game squad, unless we're geared to the teeth and extremely skilled. Any one of these guys could take us out. Their stats are in the 50s for attack. We gotta be careful out here. Almost getting caught stealing was crazy. I didn't even think about that we're back to old school stealing once we're in here. So we can't just go and try to take stuff out of his safe while he's awake. Human skin and a human skin suit. Yuck. Alright, so we should get a notification, but we're going to be careful. We're going to wait for him to go to sleep, and then we're going to rob him blind. And while them being asleep isn't enough on its own, I'll show you how we can still get what we need from his house. Standard. High grade. There we go. Oh, but we're broke the day they've got high grade. Oh, they have amazing armor and we're broke. That's tragic. What can we do here? We gotta get some money quick, guys. And we can't be giving it away buying stuff. That gives us some good money. I'm gonna hope Khaled's able to sell most of what he's got. So the specialist is going to cost us a ton of money. We can't even quite buy everything we want. That's such a bummer. We really overspent on some of the other stuff because I just wasn't expecting to see anything we could get a return on. I think we're going to sell some of our lower quality armor now that we've learned our lesson about being impatient. Yeah, because they do sell high grade. We're just going to be patient. We're going to gear ourselves out with good stuff. He's got even more? Wow. Can't even afford the other specialist grade even now. Buy the other high grade. That's a tragedy. They caught me off guard by just having everything we ever wanted all of a sudden. I'm gonna sell, and the shopkeeper can't afford it. Brutal. We'll keep any high grade stuff, but even that didn't do it for us. Yeah, we got nothing left to sell. Could sell a bunch of books back, but I'm not going to get enough money. We're just going to have to take the L on that one. Be more patient next time. We still wound up with some specialist grade stuff, high grade stuff. We've sold off the low grade stuff at least. But that's kind of a bummer. After we head back from this run, though, we're going to get a lot of money from Griffin. And we'll just make sure we don't invest any more into science when we need the armor first. I really haven't seen that much armor pop up of that high quality all at once this entire playthrough, so that kind of caught me off guard. He's got other stuff we can raid too. We might be able to get a lot of expensive loot here. Oh yeah, engineering research, that's cool. Human skin and human skin suit. The research artifacts? Yikes. Okay. Do I even want to know? They got clothing benches out here. So these guys are freaky, man. They're out here skinning people, making suits out of them. I wonder if we have enough iron for me to get to training. We might be close. Let's send Beep in here to grab backpacks. so we actually did have enough. Now we just got to turn off his jobs, get him over here. So he's got 3 full backpacks of iron. We don't need Ruka to keep mining that, because we're actually going to have to take this apart. So the biggest trick to this is we're going to have Beat mining copper, but we can't have him, he's only got to have room for 1 piece of copper. Is that going to do that? Yeah, so he's only got room for 1 piece of copper. And we don't want him ditching the iron that he has. So we can't have these containers here anymore if they're not full. And it looks like that took everything out of it. So we've got him fully equipped with a heavy backpack. Be able to train him up. And that's all we really wanted Ruka to be doing. We'll have her set to engineer and let her do a lot of the selling and working, and keep Casual glued to this bench researching science. Now we've got Beep. Beep does not have a lantern. We'll give that to him. He's going to come out here solo on this copper and take care of business there. He's going to mine 1 piece at a time, bring it back, and that'll keep him walking with this heavy backpack for longer. We do want some kind of corpse for him to carry, but it's not time for that yet. Alright, so this is the trick here. We can actually come scoop up Savant and take him with us. We'll take that and that. Thank you, sir. We'll take that. All your good equipment. Okay. Now we are over encumbered, but what we can do is throw our backpack on him, and that'll be the cheese way to do it. But we don't need him. If we were going to take him and turn him in, it's 80,000 cats, but it's all the way up here with him on our back. So we would have to choose between our loot and him. Question is, can we steal this? Who's catching us stealing? So it seems like he's still seeing us steal from him, even with him being on our back. Which is funny, but not very helpful. But you can just kind of keep stealing until it goes through. Basically, there's no one here to actually see us. It's just him trying to catch us while we're doing this. I'm just going to go ahead and make sure we get these. I don't think we'll want those, but... Ah, somebody did see us, and we took damage to our leg. It is time to go. What is that? 7, 8, 6. This is not good. We have got to get out of here. And we're just going to make a break for it as fast as possible. splinted our injury. We just want to run. So that was uncomfortably close. We're a little over encumbered and very injured, but we should be able to run through the dark pretty safely. Running into that one random robot was kind of tragic, but that's what happens when you try to steal. Somebody's coming to investigate and see what you're doing. We are going to have so much money, though, if we run into that time where we have a ton of armor ready to purchase. We'll be able to actually get it this time. Go ahead and learn those researches. So that's going to let us get the peeler machine going. That's going to be fun. Getting Beep ready to go. And we should have the money to start buying all the armor we need and the limbs we need. We almost lost Griffin twice today, but that's the way you have fun. A little high risk, high reward is about as entertaining as it gets. Once we start really patrolling with a squad, though, that's when we're at risk of getting enslaved. That's when the game can get crazy, because I'm not leaving one of my guys in slavery. We're going to mount a rescue mission one way or another. And I prefer to do those as full frontal assaults rather than trying to sneak my way in if it's even remotely feasible. So we're getting close to Flats Lagoon. When we get there, we'll sell a bunch of this stuff off, heal up, and then we can come back to that supply post to get even more money, and then we'll head back with these science books and engineering researches. Still don't have much money, so we're not going to bother going to Logan just yet. Ooh, so these are the hivers that I'm trying to avoid out here. They are Southern Hive, really high stats, decent armor. Those pole arms will cut right through any armor you have on. And when they kill you, when they like knock you down, they don't just leave you like the other hive would if they get mad at you. You're going to get scooped up and eaten. They're going to take you back somewhere terrible and you're going to get eaten. One of the reasons the game really wants you to start with Wanderer is you have way less wipe your whole squad situations even as you progress. Even mid-range characters could come out here to Grey Shelf and Royal Valley, a group full of characters with 40s and 50s in attack, toughness, strength, and just get smeared. There's things out here that if you get unlucky enough, high enough numbers can really overwhelm you. So without mods, we're going to top out at 30 people. That's the most we're going to be able to have. And it's going to be 10 people or 20 people in a squad. So we'll have like 10 people that stay home and get work done and 20 people to go exploring. That's not a lot. The 256 character limit mod's one of my favorites. I am going to do a series with all the mods I like after doing this, but I kind of wanted to see, what's really possible when you're playing with no mods whatsoever as far as like things that change the game. One of the biggest things, the attack slots. Right now, only one person can actually really fight you at a time. When one gets done attacking you, another one can step in, but none of them can really, 3 or 4 people at a time attack you at the exact same time. 5 attack slots makes it much more realistic. 5 of the people standing around you can just attack you. No matter what, though, with or without mods, the crossbows ignore this. They can just shoot at people. And the downside on crossbows without mods is that important characters can't be shot at with crossbows. So like any of the faction leaders, they will not shoot at them. They'll shoot at something else or they'll miss every time. You cannot on purpose hit them with a crossbow. You have to be like firing at their buddies and accidentally shoot them. So we're going to hold on to that Nodachi. It's nearly invaluable because this is the highest quality you can get. And while it's not necessarily the type of weapon I want, it'll be great for Beep until I'm able to get something better. It'll be a good starter weapon for him. And we'll keep this for Griffin in case it really comes down to it and we just have to fight. We're going to go ahead and rest before we head back out. We should have enough money between selling at our 2 mine spots and what we just got to buy some armor at least today. I'm going to have to be more careful about checking every day to see if they've got a good stash of armor, because apparently I've just been missing it, or it's just a matter of time and you got to get lucky. No, I don't want to steal anything. Come on now. It'll be really good playing with mods after this where I can go to any shopkeeper and they'll just buy everything. Because as far as difficulty goes, that's the only real difference. It's just tedium. If I come here and maintain this and sell it, it's not difficult. It's just tedious. But that is what you lose out on. You just lose some tedium by being able to have the shops have more money. Having them have more items to buy, again, I still feel like there's so much available. Ooh, I don't want to do that. We're not making that mistake again, buying a bunch of science books right now. The only thing you get from the shops not having more stuff available is you just wait. It's not like they'll never have it. It's just waiting the next day, and slowly selling your stuff, slowly buying what you need. But that's it. It just delays how long it takes. It doesn't make it more difficult. It doesn't make it harder to find. We're going to check Logan right quick. We are going to use the pause button and not risk Griffin getting eaten again. Okay. Yep, we got hosed. Now that we've got money, there's no armor. That figures. Buy some ammo. So after we get this fat stack of money, I know where I can get another robot recruit. That'll be the next thing we do is get another bag, give that to the new robot recruit, and stick him with the Armor King. Looks like there's some expensive stuff here. Nothing too crazy. Oh yeah, those are worth carrying home. Fantastic. So Stobe's Gamble, one of the more tragic places here in Kenshi. There's a lot of lore to be found, and I think one of the runs I want to do will be kind of a lore master run. We're just running through and finding every scrap of information we can and go over what happened here, because you have to watch about a dozen Hero in His Head videos in order to really understand what happened. If you don't comb through the world and hold on to every book you find and every little scrap of paper that tells you what happened. You have to talk to everyone you see, go through their chats, especially the skeletons. The skeletons have the most interesting stuff to tell you, especially if you can approach them as another skeleton. They'll reveal a lot more than they would if you weren't. It's like they don't trust the humans. Alright, let's get in here. I almost got sad. I thought that our stuff was gone. I don't like being this encumbered, but I think we'll be okay. And we'll still have that leg if we really want to come back. Running encumbered in stealth on the way back will at least let us get his strength up a little bit. Who are we running past? I'm just curious. Yeah, there's a sniper bot. So he's got an Eagle's Cross on him. It's probably not high quality, but we do not want to get shot by that thing. It will drop us in one hit, pretty much instantly kill us. That's the other reason with my newbie recruits, I'm going to hand them a very weak crossbow. The crossbow shots will still knock people back and give us a good advantage with some extra damage added on top before we even come to really fighting. But can also kind of stun lock enemies. But if you're wearing heavy, high quality armor, you're taking no damage from those little toothpick bolts. And you're still going to level up your precision shooting to where you're not shooting your allies at all the same, even though it's not doing damage. If we can just get Griffin back and forth between there and then get our new recruit going, we should be able to have enough armor by the time we finish the afternoon/evening stream to go do some recruiting and get geared up to go exploring. The big trick is going to be getting a base set up. Setting up the base without just building a stone mine and hoping for the best is an art form in itself to do without getting murdered. I don't think we're going to bother setting up in the Holy Nation territory because I want to have some robots operating harpoons. At least 2 of the people we leave at home will be operating those harpoon turrets. So we'll see how that goes. Luckily, the goats won't attack us unless we start something with them. And you can see the sword on my back. This is what Savant had on him. This is the larger two-handed katana that has much more reach, called an Odachi. It's not really katana. It's katana class as far as Kenshi's concerned. But this will let you hit multiple enemies at once with it when it does some of its side swipes. But it's still going to be a very light weapon. At 8 kilograms for a Meitu two-handed weapon is extremely light. I don't even think Griffin would have trouble swinging that with his 20 strength. If we look at Beep, we've had Beep working for a while. He's already up to 10 strength from nothing, and he actually has a heavy strength penalty. So his is going to take longer than usual to level. But that iron backpack, I haven't had to do anything with Beep. He's just doing that on his own, mining up copper, helping us make money slowly, little bit by little bit. But he's mainly leveling that strength without me having to manually walk him back and forth with a big heavy backpack. It'll be better when we can find a bone dog corpse or something for him to pick up, because then he'll get even more XP. I don't think we necessarily need to. We might actually be wasting a little bit of training over encumbering him, but it also keeps it simple. Ooh, we're gonna run these guys out of money. That's okay though, we need it. We can't miss another armor purchase like that again. That was painful, watching all that armor disappear. I think we missed out on 2 pieces of specialist. None here. Does Griffin still have food on him? I guess he's got these ration packs, but I really don't want him to eat that. Not encumbered anymore. We want to head up to the floodlands and get our newest recruit. Oh, but we want a backpack. We don't want to have to give up our backpack. It doesn't necessarily need to be a thieves backpack, I suppose. Just needs to be able to store enough stuff. Said Neil, we could have you buying robot limbs, but would it be easier to just move you? I like having you here. Let's see if anything refreshes, because I get the feeling these shops don't refresh. I know the limb shop does, but I wonder if the scrap shop doesn't refresh its science material specifically. Dude, come on now. You can do this. You can't run across the bridge? Yeah, so none of the science, the expensive science stuff refreshes. So I'm not sure I want to bother keeping him out here. If I do, it'll be for the robot limb shop. Let's take you... We'll go ahead and take you to the floodlands. Alright, Griffin, we got a bunch of cats. Let's get lucky. Or Logan, excuse me. Logan, let's get lucky. That's what I'm talking about. There we go. This time we were ready. Snatched up some specialist gear. Grab more ammo. You can never have too much ammo. Especially when you gotta buy it and not produce it. This isn't going to be fun. Let's hope we don't get lazy beamed. I'm like compulsively checking chat now because yesterday someone asked a question and I didn't catch it till an hour later. Felt like such a turd. See, we got hurt there, but nothing too bad. We'll go ahead and patch up and keep moving. But I am compulsively watching now. If someone was to pop in, I should catch it this time, hopefully. My real goal here is to get these out there, let people find them over time, and then they'll check in on the stream. Get some shorts uploaded too. I've got some funny outtakes from just trying to get started on some other runs that I'm just going to kind of replicate. You know, biggest mistake you can make, do not start as a female. They are not living life on recruit difficulty in Kenshi. Everything sucks anywhere near the starting zone. You can just randomly run into a bunch of priests that'll throw you in prison or kill you. You don't want to start as a robot, same reason. Bugman, same reason. Shek you can, but you miss out on a lot. It's really way easier to start out as a male Greenlander or a male Scorchlander. If you're going to be doing your own crafting, especially if you've got mods installed, and it's going to be a little bit easier because the materials are available to do before you even have a town, you've almost got to start as a Scorchlander just because they're so rare. And they get much better smithing stats. They won't smith better, but they'll level up the skill faster. That's how all the racial advantages and disadvantages work in Kenshi. I'm hoping that once I get it set up to where you can actually have a robot buying stuff from Armor King, we'll be very close to having enough equipment. I think if I double check on Logan, we've got a bunch of chest pieces, but not a lot of pants. And we've got plenty of crossbows, and plenty of ammo. So it's really just getting some pants and helmets. We haven't seen but the one helmet pop up. So I might have been missing the whole plot here, not checking the United Cities for better armor. I probably could even just check the wiki and see. No, the wiki doesn't even really seem to mention where to get it, and the comments are always kind of useless. It tells me where to get the blueprint, but a lot of the comments are by people that have mods downloaded. Oh, Griffin, stop moving. This is what we're worried about. We got discombobulated. He came up the wrong side again. That's so frustrating. Now we're going to try and sprint through Rebirth without pissing everyone off. or go all the way around. I wonder if they even care if you're here if you're not in trouble. I would think they would want people to stay out, though. Well, they didn't even notice us. We're practically invisible. We'll take it. Ooh, Beep's already up to 16 strength. He is not playing around. Alright. Into the floodlands we go. Hey, Beep, are there any wolves or bums laying around dead? Kang and Ruka alive. Yep, they're doing good. No bums to pick up. We're looking for Burns Tower right now. That way we can recruit him and send him to the Armor King. Hopefully that's where we'll get the last of our armor wrapped up. It's really hard to buy large quantities of good armor without mods or just making it yourself, but making it yourself takes forever. It costs so much money. You have to you can't automatically sell the armor. It's a huge pain to maintain. I'd rather go try and make some quick cash and purchase it over time, because we'll get it faster too. I would still not even be making high quality armor by day 29. Gotta do a little bit of the Kenshi loading shuffle. Some of these areas we haven't even really been to yet, so it might even take longer. Hopefully this is the right tower and we don't get squashed. There's Burn. So Burn's one of the pretty interesting characters you can find too. Let me guess, another adventurer. How did he know? Rich history and lost tech, but the spiders make it hard to recover those treasures. Many adventurers are smart enough to not take the risk. Others are brave enough to take the challenge, but many of them don't come back. So are you smart or brave? The prior, of course. I'm not wired for unnecessary risks. Don't want to adventure anymore? They aren't as perishable as humans, but we still have a limit. We start to seize up over time, or we stop working suddenly without warning. His time is near. Do you miss traveling? Says he does. Probably teach me a thing or two. Yeah, come with me. Let's cut to the chase, man. There we go. Come with me. So, hopefully Burn can't be considered robbing himself. Does he have anything of much use or value here? Not really. Power core and the muscle are. A little bit of food if I need it. Give that to Griffin. Okay, yeah, he didn't have much on him. Whoa, whoa, whoa. What in the world? I'm just randomly getting assaulted in the tower. I don't understand what's going on or why that's happening. Hopefully we didn't just lose Griffin. That's gonna suck. Griffin didn't lose any limbs, but he is down and out. Again, that running on triple speed, you think you're safe, and you're out here in the middle of robot hell. Burn, put him up here. I don't think he'll get anything from resting in the repair bed, but we'll try. Doesn't have a med kit. Take the crappy med kit and give it to Burn. Wow. I can't believe we just got hosed like that. Well, eat up a little more time buying armor. That's what I get for not paying attention. Specialist chest plate. Love it. High grade. Love it. Standard pants. Come on, guys. Come on. I need good pants. Buy more ammo. And we'll put the stuff away. Griffin got dunked on. He is really messed up. We're gonna pick him up, put him down. Get Burn healed up. Because he's not benefiting from this frickin' thing anyway. We'll just say Burn left him a note that he was going to head out to the Armor King like they planned and let Griffin rest. He forgot to shut the door though, so hopefully he doesn't die. That's twice just in this playthrough, the last couple hours, almost lost Griffin due to just sheer carelessness. So traveling down this river is awful. They really did hide this about as well as they could. It's hidden better than the scrap weapon shop in the robot area. Just trying to get here at all. You can't just click here on the map. You have to come to this side of the river and work your way up in order to even get here. the pathing just won't find it. At least Beep's strength training is coming along. Let's trade. What do you got? High grade, specialist leg plates. This is what we're talking about, man. That's what we're looking for. What was I thinking? And he's got chainmail. And helmets. Oh, goodness. We're blowing through our money like crazy, but actually getting the equipment we need. Beautiful. Beautiful. The only problem is I don't have a great place to store it, and if I put it in here, he's gonna say I'm stealing. So suppose we could try and take it back to the tower. Oh, Burn does have a little bit of an advantage here at least. I still can't believe that random skeleton ran up on us in his tower. That messed me up. What is that? What is that? I don't like that. Something else was walking through the water. That is not cool. We've had enough near misses today. We're good on dying. We're sold out of applications for dying. So what I'm seeing here is I need to figure out a way to get a strong robot up here to be able to move this stuff back and forth reliably. That's what it looks like to me. Because if we get caught out by one of those skeletons, we're going to get hammered. Looks like the path doesn't have... Oh. There's an angry robot spider right there. That's what we don't want to see. Because I bet you they're still going to come after me. It does seem like if I'm careful, though, they don't just come flying out of nowhere. Although, that is exactly what happened. We're going to have to drop back by and sell some of our copper, but I really want to focus on getting Burn in there safely. Burn, shut the door. Is there any armor specific storage? Nope. it all throughout his house and hope for the best. I like how it still says stealing chance, like he's stealing from himself. Okay, we do have a weapon cabinet and a general storage chest that'll be good for storing stuff. I don't like the sheer amount of robots that are just out here causing problems. It's time to head home. It's time to... Well, or do we want to make money? There's still so much money that could be made. Let's get out of here safely, and then we'll work on money. We'll go this way. We'll have to play catch up on our copper sales a little bit, but I just don't feel like getting waylaid before we even get out of here. But now that we're out of the floodlands, it's a lot less dangerous. Maybe we can catch them before they close up shop. Boy, we really got to catch up on selling our copper. Alright, we caught up on that one, that's good. Need to get this guy back to researching stuff. So catching up on our copper sales hasn't been that difficult, which is nice. Griffin hasn't randomly died when I unpause. That's good too. Excellent, we just made a butt ton of money that we can then give to Logan or burn. Probably want to spend it on burn. Just because he's got access to even better stuff. Oh, you're going the wrong way already. What are you doing? I don't want you going down the left side. That's the long route, discombobulated route. want to go this way. He's having so much trouble just trying to find his path. We'll want to ditch a lot of this food though. Give this big sword to beat. We'll let him rock with a Nodachi to start with. Got some major science advancement to take home. We're going to be able to move forward pretty far on that. I'm happy about that. I do want to see us get all the armor we need very soon. So we're looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and a pair of pants. Whereas burn, I think we put it all on the bottom floor. He's got 4, 5, 6 pairs of pants and a chest piece. We're gonna have to eventually get all of this stuff together. I'll probably just stop buying armor on Logan. I had no idea there'd be so much at Armor King. Usually has a much worse selection for what I want. But I wonder if my mods are messing that up. And that's on me. Hopefully, once we get to actually purchasing all of our armor, getting it together isn't going to be a total fiasco. That is something I'm still a little worried about. Let's see about repackaging this stuff upstairs. I would like to keep most of it in one place. Looks like we've mostly done that, which is nice. And Griffin's making his way safely back to town. We can take Logan. Just double check that there's some good armor here. We can buy high grade chest pieces, but we have a lot of chest pieces. We need pants and helm. Not gonna waste our money buying more chest pieces right now. are going to buy ammo. And we can invest in specialist toothpicks. They're not that expensive. To make sure he's got food. He's still got food, but we're going to load him up anyway. Make double sure he doesn't run out. Get Griffin down to Squin, drop off the science, and then it'll be about time to wrap up the morning stream. So far, we were able to acquire a lot of pieces of armor, especially chest plates. We did finally get a few more helms and some nice heavy armor pants via Burn at the Armor King. Beat is working on getting his strength up. He went from 1 to 25 just during part of this session automatically on his own, which has been great. And we did get the plans to remove limbs from anyone we want to, which is going to be very interesting once we get that going. We'll go trade with Beep. We'll hand him his sword. Let Beep defend himself. There you go, Beep. Hold on to that. Don't get robbed or enslaved with it. Griffin still had a little... Ooh, you can't afford it. Okay, we'll try another shop. Griffin still had some stuff to sell. Just that leg, it looks like. What are these worth? They're not worth that much. They're just good food to hold on to. We'll keep that here. We're actually going to let Griffin heal up all the way. Since his injuries are to his chest, especially, you don't want him running around with injuries to his chest. That's very bad. We are going to want to make a lot more money a lot faster. The stuff we're buying from the Armor King is much more expensive. So I am going to look at not only getting Beep up to speed for his strength training, but getting him able to help stealth and run different material. We might go ahead and get him some scout legs and the strength arms. Once his strength gets higher, he'll be able to legitimately carry a cow on his back, and it won't be too cheesy. He'll just be that strong. So we're going to wrap that up here. Again, guys, this was casually dedicated. I'm just doing a Kenshi run with nothing but UI mods, things that make the game run better or look better. My map's a little prettier. I can kind of see the roads where everyone's going to run. But overall, the gameplay's not changed. The shops have the same amount of money, the same items. Combat works exactly like vanilla Kenshi. And we are out here struggling with it. We've almost died to beak things and robots twice today. Poor Griffin's getting beaten up. But I will be back this afternoon. Probably upload a couple of shorts first, and then we'll get that going. We'll see if we can get our Beep up to maximum strength, and then we're going to look at finishing our armor purchases. Then it's time for recruiting. We're going to get a small Shek army built up. They're the best for it. Every time I've done this, you take a bunch of Sheks, you put them in heavy armor and crossbows, and they can just run over most of the world. So we'll see how that works out with toothpicks instead of old world bows. And we'll be ready this afternoon to